Hey, just wanted to say thanks to everybody who subscribed. We hit the 1,000 subscriber mark this morning, which is fucking excellent. So we're well on our way to growing the channel. We really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed or you like what we're doing, please hit the button. It'll take you 2 seconds. It helps us out a lot, and we really appreciate it. Anyway, onto the video. Alrighty, I'm going to rip into those JKBMSs today. So I was hoping the overcast would clear up so that we could have done the comparison on the performance of the panels, but that hasn't happened. So just a little bit of backstory. A few weeks back, or 2 weeks ago, we posted a video. We were talking about the fact that this top shelf, which has got slightly shorter cables than the rest of them, has a tendency to get cycled more than the other two shelves. My suspicion's always been that that cable being a little bit longer is what causes that to happen. That there might be, when they're under load, there might be a little bit more impedance on the cables. Had a few different comments from different people. Some people say that the cable length doesn't matter, some people say it does. We're a little bit indifferent. It's not really impacting it, but we'd like to know why it's happening. So one of the things that came up is that has the calibration gone out on the JKBMSs, and it may very well have. Just on another note, someone mentioned that they were a little bit uneasy about this metal being so close to the cells. The metal doesn't touch the cells, like there's actually a gap there. And there's foam in between each of these cells, so that steel on the end there is also not touching them. So I'm not super concerned about that. We don't think we're going to have any fires or anything. But anyway, back to the problem at hand. So is what we're seeing just a symptom that doesn't really exist? It could be, like it might just be that the JKBMSs are not calibrated correctly anymore. So what I'm going to do, and I've listening to everybody's feedback, I've got the screen recorder happening on this thing, so I'll be able to show you what I'm seeing up on the screen. So look, what it looks to me like is we need to someone said that you need a really accurate or a really high quality multimeter, and sure, that'd be nice. I don't think that's actually the case. So I think what you've got to do is you've got to have a consistent multimeter. So what I'm going to do is go through each one of the shelves, make sure the total battery voltage for each one is what the JKBMS is seeing is what the multimeter sees as well. Because if they're all consistent, any manufacturing differences in each of the BMSs will be taken into account. If there's a tiny bit of impedance at any of our terminals, that will get taken into account. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to go through each one of the balance cables, check and see if the impedance that's listed inside of the BMS is the same, and make sure that the pack voltage is the same. So I don't have a bracket to hold my camera. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go and find one because I'm not going to be able to hold this and hold my multimeter at the same time. So just give me 2 secs. Right, so I'm going to start with shelf 1. I'm just going to pop this up here. So shelf 1 thinks it's got 53.81 volts. Let's just double check that. I'm going to pop this camera down and you can watch me over my shoulder. Alright, so we do have a problem because that was 54.2 and the BMS is saying 53. So the battery voltage appears to be lower. Hang on. It's going to be a little bit hairy, I think. But we'll pop that under there like that. 54.1. Alright, can confirm we've got an issue. The current battery voltage of the pack is, according to the JKBMS, is 53.84. According to the multimeter, it's 54.1. So that's a bit of a worry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust it here. I haven't even gotten to the point of like checking all the individual balances, but I'll run through and check that as well. We need to update this voltage. 54.1. Oh, not 541. Jesus, that'd be a catastrophe, wouldn't it? Actually, no, 54.2. Oh, for the love of God. Trying to do this one-handed. Alright, 54.2 is now set. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to check all the other ones as well. What current are we currently getting into this thing? Let's have a look. 50.2 amps. I think that's, we're getting 152.6. That'd be about right. If they're all even, we should be okay. Geez, we're making a bit of power there, aren't we? I should have put a screen recorder on that as well, shouldn't I? That would have been thinking. Anyway, All right, I'm going to run through the other two. I haven't even done the balance leads yet, but I will. I'm also going to run through and grab a voltage of each of the individual cells in the pack, see if we've got any discrepancies there. Alright, so I've checked all of the cells, and all the cells are at the voltage that they say they are. So what we've got on the JKBMS app is correct. Oh geez, we're pumping in, whoa, 304 amps. Whew. That is a lot of power, man. 11.4 kilowatts coming in. Happy days. Love it. 300 amps is huge. So yeah, I've corrected the battery voltage on this top one, which I suspect may have been half of our problem. I mean, the thing is, I think it's only a problem from a reporting perspective. It's not actually it's not going to be why the top pack is receiving more power than anything else. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the other packs. We're not going to worry about that one down the bottom. I'm going to go through the other packs. I'm going to do the same checks on the other packs, and I'm going to calibrate the battery voltage, and then we'll test it over a couple of days and see if it makes any difference. I'm certain that cable length is an issue, but you know, we won't know until we can eliminate all the other potential contributors. So I'm going to rip into that now. Well, that's a bugger. 54.6 is what it's telling me the second pack's at. So I'll have to enter the password. Just give me 2 secs. So we're at 54.2. Let me prop up my prongs here so that we're getting a consistent measurement. Oh, that's not a good sign, is it? 54.4. So we want to adjust the standing voltage there to point. God damn it! Stop taking the decimal place away, man. All right, we're at 54.4. Has accepted that. And I will now go through again, checking each one of the individual cells, and then we'll do the last one. Exactly the same problem. So where have I messed up that? Somewhere along the way I've dropped the calibration off all of them, and I'm not sure how and when I did it. But let's fix it up and see if it makes an improvement. Okay, again, all the cells are perfect, right? We're not going to go through that one at the bottom there. That is the old Voltax battery that we pulled apart, or 4 of them. It's running on the JKBMS, but we don't really care about that one, if I'm honest with you. That's just a spare 10 kilowatts, probably end up in a toy hauler. It's not even being metered, it's just plugged in over here. So look, that's pretty disappointing that the pack's overall calibrated voltage was wrong. I just have no idea when the hell that happened, but that might be a contributor to the problem that we're having. In the meanwhile, we'll have a look at some of the other settings, just make sure that we've got everything else the way we expect it. So 604 amp hours is correct, so they're 302 amp hour cells in 2P, so that's okay. People will see the voltage that you start balancing at, and they have a bit of a heart attack, right? They're like, start balance voltage is at 3 volts. Yeah, but it's also takes into account the balance trigger voltage. So that value doesn't get used unless the balance trigger voltage is set. And at this point, it's like 0.01. That's fine, right? It's, you know, I've seen some comments, people go, oh, it'll out of balance your packs. Well, they've been like this for 2 years. They're not out of balance. What we do is periodically ramp the voltage up to 57 volts so that we can, you know, like give the balancer the best chance possible. We do that for about a month, and then we'll turn the voltage back down again. And we do that once a year, and it's been happy like that. We never see a huge cell difference, right? The max balance charge is maxed out to 2 amps, of course it is. The over voltage protection is set to 3.6. The cell over voltage protection reset is at 3.55. Now that's probably slightly high, but when we're cramming in as much power as we can, like if let's say it's been overcast and we're trying to get power into the battery in a really short period of time, when they block charge, we want that to reset as quickly as possible so we can throw some more power in. You know, that's a gamble that we're taking. We wouldn't expect everybody to do it the way we're doing it, you know, and we're happy with it. So the next one is the cell under voltage protection, which is at 2.650, and in my opinion that's fairly low. I know some people will run them right down to 2.5 or even 2.45. Yeah, we're not super happy with that. So, oh, actually, hang on, I've got that around the wrong way. The cell under voltage protection is 2.6, but the under voltage protection reset is at 2.65. So when they rise to 2.65, you know, like after the load goes away, then that'll reset the under voltage protection. Power off voltage is set at 2.50. So I mean, I suppose that's, you're really only ever going to hit that if you've sort of left the pack sitting around for the longest time and it's discharged itself well under 2.60 on its own, or maybe you've got a faulty cell. Continuous charge current is 200 amps, so that's 200 amps per BMS, so we could potentially be charging this thing with 600 amps. It's a shame I wasn't recording that. It's getting 200 at the moment. Well, that's 200 across all three, right? We're not even touching the sides of this thing. It's amazing. Wow! What the hell's going on there? That never happens. What the fuck? Nah, there's something wrong there. That's a... I must have a faulty meter, because there's no way that much power could be coming through that. Weird. I'll have to check that out. Alright, what do we got here? Back to it. The continuous charge current's 200 amps. The charge over current protection delay is 30 seconds. The charge over current protection reset timer is 60 seconds. Continuous discharge current is 200. Discharge OCP delay 300. I actually don't know what that one does. The discharge over current protection delay 300 seconds. Does that mean it'll go over for 300 seconds or it cuts off for 300 seconds? I'll have to Google that. Discharge over current protection reset time is 60 seconds. Charge over temp 70. Over temp protection reset is 60. Discharge over temp protection is 70. So they're the same. And they're just repeating. So the reset for that one is also 60. The charge under temp is at -10. I think I've seen -10 degrees Celsius in Australia once in my life. It's not likely to happen to us. Although I am starting to think, after watching Off-Grid Garage, maybe it's time for me to neaten this up. Who liked that blue conduit that our mate used in his car? Sort of goes with the Victron look, I think. If I'm going to neaten this up and actually enclose the room, that'll help this thing to stay a little bit warmer. You'll have the warmth coming out of this inverter, and we could possibly avoid any situations where we get to -10 degrees. It's not likely to happen. We're halfway through summer already, so if I'm going to do it, I should do it in time for winter coming. I also want to stick that extra solar array up to get us through winter, but yeah, I digress again. MOSFET over temperature protection, so that's at 100 degrees and it resets at 80. SCP delay, I actually don't even know what that is. An SCP reset, I don't know what that is either. I haven't adjusted any of the impedances on any of these wires. Like I've just checked it, it says that everything's fine. If I ever had an issue with impedance on any of these wires, I would do something about it. Like I wouldn't leave it there with an impedance issue, because that means something's wrong. Like when this thing's sampling the batteries, there's no current going across the wire. That means, you know, the resistance should effectively be zero, unless there's actually something wrong. And I would just fix the wire, you know. Like I wouldn't change this. So, like maybe as a stopgap measure, sure, but yeah, I don't know. I don't see it as adding any value. So let's go and check the other ones and make sure they're all the same. I don't know that you guys want to sit here and watch that, but I'll let you know if anything's different. Okay, last one. Are all the settings roughly the same? We got 3 to 3.6, 3.55, 2.626, 2.5, 200, 30, 60, 200, 300. I think we're okay. -10 again. Charge under 10. Oh, actually, sorry, it's I made a mistake before. It's not -10 that it's going to stop at. It's -10 where it's going to reset. It's -20 that it'll cut out. So we don't have to worry about that at all. We're never going to get to -20. That doesn't mean I shouldn't. That doesn't mean I shouldn't enclose the room though, right? Because look at the dust building up on this. It actually gives me the shits. I'm going to have to try and get in there and clean all that dust out. And all the cell voltages are the same. Yeah. Alright, well, that's a little disappointing that it was so far out. Hopefully that makes a difference. I'm going to follow up. We're going to be charged today. Fuck. It's the one time I was hoping we wouldn't get charged. I wanted to do the second-hand panel comparison versus the new panels and how effectively they were working, you know, by comparison to how big of an array it is. I haven't been able to do that, but when I do that, I'll be able to follow up and see if this calibration has made any difference to the battery cells. See if the packs are charging more evenly, or if you know, if it's just been a statistical anomaly that says that this top pack is discharged further than the rest. I don't think it's not actually impacting it, right? Not with the currents that we charge at. As long as 2 of these packs are accepting power, we're all good. We don't often see the spikes at 300 amps, so like I don't think it's a huge concern, but it's like one of those things, if you ignore it, it might become a larger concern later. So I want to do something about it. Just purely for that reason alone. So we'll see how it goes. I'll keep you guys updated, and we'll see you in the next one.